Hey, lemlisters! I'm super happy today to be joined with the amazing Tim Soulo, CMO at Ahrefs, who's going to give us all the secret of how they grew up to 40 million ARR without any funding. Tim, thanks a lot for joining us today.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're super pumped. Like Ahrefs is really like an amazing tool. For those of you who have not heard of it, it's really helpful when it comes to SEO, backlinks, really like stepping up your game. We use it personally at lemlist and we really love it. So I want just maybe like to give a bit more intro. Like once you joined in 2015, Ahrefs, you were about like 15 people, and now you're more than like 50 employees, and you have over like 40 million ARR. So when you look back, what do you think like were for you like the key tactics you implemented that kind of made that growth happen? And also like what was your ARR when you joined approximately?
Oh, this is a good question. I don't really remember what was the ARR when I joined. At some point, I actually calculated it, but I forgot. I think it was somewhere around 10 million, but don't take my word for it. And we crossed 40 million in 2018. We don't really share our
metrics
annual
publicly,
recurring revenue. Yeah, we don't share them publicly, but our CEO tweeted this. So he opened the Pandora box in 2018, and we have this number. So right now we're obviously past that number. And what was kind of pivotal, what was the most important part of our growth? I think it was like, first of all, when I joined Ahrefs, the technology, the actual tech, the actual product, the quality of product, of data that we were providing was already superior to our competitors. So the actual product was better, but it was lacking on the marketing side because Dmitry, our CEO and founder, from the very beginning, he was like super product focused. He believed that product is like the main thing. Like it's not about marketing, it's not about the fancy things you say in your ads or about having like salespeople who can persuade some companies to buy your software. It's about actually having a superior product. So at the time I joined, the product was already better. And one thing was lacking is that a lot of people in the industry didn't know about our product. So all I had to do as a marketer is spread the awareness that there's this product, it's called Ahrefs, and it is better than the alternatives. And basically all I had to do is tell people, come and try it, like try it yourself, you'll see it immediately. So that was the more or less the only thing I was doing as I started. I was just going to all the forums, to Reddit, connecting with people, and just like reaching out to people over email and telling them, just try it out, and you'll see like how awesome it is. So yeah, I think the joining the team that had a better product, the best product in the industry, made my job as a marketer super easy.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Thanks for answering that first question. As I see that a lot of people are joining the live, so we're with the amazing Tim Soulo. If you guys have questions during the live, please make sure like to put everything in comments. Vuk from my team will basically like send it over directly to me on Messenger, and then I can ask you also like Tim. Second question that I have really, it's about like obviously like you're working in SEO and you're also like well known and famous for the best in class content marketing. So how do you exactly like connect all the content that you write with the revenue? Like how does your like funnel look like exactly?
This is a funny question because I get a lot of people trolling me on Twitter every time I say something about our content or our experiments and anything, because the thing is, we don't really track any conversions.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you're kind of trolling me as well. So yeah, and whenever we publish articles on our blog, or whenever we release videos on our YouTube channel, or whenever we run campaigns on Twitter to promote that content, we don't really know like what is the ROI. What is the ROI of writing an article? What is the ROI of creating a video? What is the ROI of then taking that video and promoting it on Twitter with Twitter ads? What is the ROI of promoting that article on Facebook with Facebook ads? We don't know, but one thing we know is that like like I said, back in 2018, 2 years ago, Dmitry tweeted that we have crossed 40 million in ARR, while growing at a pace of 60% year over year. So
nice.
Every year we were getting 60% bigger, and our marketing was basically content marketing. So we were creating educational content, and our company was growing at a pretty rapid pace with just 50 employees. So we don't have sales team. So we don't need people to persuade others over the phone to sign up. We don't do retargeting. So we don't bother people. Like if you visit our homepage, we won't stalk you with like, we don't do that. So and by that, of course, we have a superior product, like I said, and by creating a lot of content, a lot of educational content. And what's important is that this content brings us traffic, consistent traffic, because it ranks in Google. So it's not about blogging for the sake of blogging. When you publish something, but then that article never brings you traffic again. Every article that we publish brings us traffic and compounds. So as of today, if I am not mistaken, our blog is bringing us 5,000 visitors per month from Google alone. 500,000 per month from Google alone. If you count like additional traffic we get from Twitter, if you count additional traffic we get from people sending articles to each other, if we get additional traffic from people linking to our articles, I don't know what's our total traffic. I have no idea how much traffic our blog is getting in total, and I don't care. I only care about the number of articles we have published and how these articles rank in Google. So our goal with content marketing is that whenever people search for something related to SEO, related to search engine optimization, and Ahrefs has some tool or feature that can help them with that, we have to be there at the top. So we have to get the traffic to ourselves. So we don't track ROI of that, but judging by how the company is growing, you know that this strategy works.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually like really interesting, because I see a lot of people, like being kind of paranoid about like all the metrics and tracking, etc., which I think like is really important. But in the end, as long as a company is growing and you see like the impact of your actions on the MRR, I think it's the most important part. But I was also curious because I've heard people saying that you kind of removed the Google Analytics tags and everything from your website in order to have like a boost in SEO. Or was it like, or is there a different reason?
Yeah, the reason for that, initially we removed the Google Analytics tracking script because there was that GDPR thing, where the European I don't know, community or whoever it was, some governing institution decided that all websites should not be collecting personal data, etc. And there was a time where no one knew what you are allowed to have and what you're not allowed to have. And a lot of sites actually deleted all the scripts, and we deleted all the scripts as well, until like all those major companies like Google Analytics announced that their script is GDPR compliant and all that. But even when we knew that Google Analytics is actually GDPR compliant and it will not get us into trouble having this on our website, we realized two things. First of all, we realized that even if we return Google Analytics and see like how much traffic we are getting, where this traffic is coming from, blah blah blah, how much traffic we're getting from Twitter, it wouldn't really change our content marketing strategy, because we already had this content marketing engine that was producing articles. Those articles were ranking in Google. They were bringing us customers. A lot of people were tweeting to us saying how much they enjoy our content, and people were explicitly saying saying this to me personally, that because of our blog, because of our YouTube videos, they have become our customers. So without actually tracking the conversion rate or whatever,
you knew,
we knew. We had like people were literally telling us, I was reading your blog and I became your customer. I forgot where I was going with this. So this was the first thing. We realized that our content marketing strategy wouldn't change if we would see the numbers in Google Analytics. Nothing would change. And the second thing is that the impressions of what Google are doing, the attitude of the SEO community to where Google is going was going down, because Google was stealing more and more traffic from. Oops, are you still here?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I think it froze for a second.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Google was stealing more and more traffic from publishers, and Google was hoarding a lot of personal data. And there was also this Congress hearing with Mark Zuckerberg, where they were asking him about personal data and blah, blah, blah. And we realized that by having the Facebook tracking script, the Google tracking script, we're basically giving these big companies the personal data of our customers, which we felt is not very good. So we don't want to hoard the personal data of our customers ourselves. We want to be compliant, and we want to be ethical about it. And so, more than that, we don't want to give that personal data of our customers to third parties. Because basically, if we put a banner on Ahrefs.com website and say, do you want us to send your personal data to Google and Facebook? Please click the checkboxes. I don't think anyone would be clicking checkboxes and say, yes, send my personal data to Facebook, send my personal data to Google. So this is why we decided that we don't want to have those scripts. We eventually ended up installing like a third-party analytics script that is hosted on our servers. So we have this data on our own. But even then, we only implemented it because we wanted some information about which devices people are using and how to better optimize our website. But we don't really use that analytics for our marketing anyway.
Okay, that's really interesting. I have a question from the audience. So Jeremy is asking if you have like an active backlink strategy today. Because you're saying like a lot of people are actually like linking to your content. Obviously, like you're producing good content, so I'm sure you're getting organic links. But you have also like a really active, like going after backlinks, asking for backlinks, etc.
No, we don't do anything to get backlinks other than creating great content and promoting it as much as we can. So the thing is, essentially, if you want to get backlink, you need to create a piece of content that someone would care to link to for whatever reason. And you need to make sure that this someone who has a website and who is capable to link to a piece of content will find your piece of content. So this is the only thing that needs to happen. Someone who has a website and who is able to link to your content needs to find your piece of content that that person would enjoy, would want to link to. And when you're small and when you don't have the budget and when you don't have the reputation and all that, you have to do manual outreach. So you have to send emails to people in your industry who have websites. You have to show them your content, and you have to explicitly ask them, like, if you enjoy my content, maybe you could link to it. So you have to hustle to get those links. In our case, we did do this 5 years ago when I just joined, and when we were building our reputation in the industry, we were sending a lot of outreach emails. I was personally reaching out to a lot of people, showing them our content, asking for their feedback. But today, 5 years later, as we were building our credibility as we were producing more and more high quality content and building our reputation in the industry, all we need to do is publish a piece of content and then throw like $500 into Facebook ads and send email newsletter to our customers. And basically with $500 in Facebook ads and with a newsletter to our customers, we are notifying like tens of thousands of people that we've published a piece of content about something. And if they have websites and if they like our content, they will naturally link to us. So we are at a point where we don't need to explicitly ask for links. All we need to do is just promote our content to reach more people. And there's a good chance that someone would link to our content if our content is link worthy. But if you're starting out, you have to connect with individuals who have websites. You have to pitch them your content, and you have to figure out why they link to it or why don't they link to it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And do you have like the kind of split between like existing user and Facebook ads backlink that you get? So you mentioned like $500 of ads. Like, does that bring like 80% of the backlinks, or is it more coming from the existing community that you have on your newsletter, etc.?
So we have no idea.
Okay.
So we don't track that. We just see that whenever we publish an interesting piece of content, and we also notice that most of the time when we do some kind of research, when we publish some statistics, when we publish some data,
Yeah.
This is what people are very likely to link to.
Yeah, they like to share.
Publish something like, here are 10 copywriting tips. It is very hard to have someone link to your 10 copywriting tips.
Okay.
So for us, it's not about the budget or the type of people that we are reaching with our email newsletter or with our Facebook ads. It's more about the type of content. So some topics are naturally worthy of a link.
Okay.
People want to link to them because this is something unique, this is something new, this is something useful. Other topics, they are very hard to get links to. So we never really tried to do such experiments and figure. No, actually, I'm lying to you. Right now,
don't lie, Tim.
yeah. Right now, we're doing an experiment of running Google Ads,
okay,
piece of content, and we want to figure out what would be the price of acquiring backlink if paid with Google Ads. So we just rank our piece of content for the keyword that it is about. So for example, if it's copywriting, it's copywriting tips, we rank it for copywriting tips, and we're waiting for backlinks to come. I think we're using some UTM tags to make sure that a person just copied the URL from clicking on our ad and linked to it. And this is a teaser, because we're going to publish this as a case study on our YouTube channel.
Nice.
So go to YouTube, search for Ahrefs YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll get this case study.
Nice. I love it. That's really cool. So another question, and then after that, I'll get to my question from Quincy. So he's asking, like, okay, you're not tracking ROI, conversion, or retargeting. Is it that something that you didn't care from the beginning, or do you think it's just like statu quo and that's something you keep implementing?
So we kind of didn't have time for that from the beginning. So when I joined, I was the only marketer in the company, and I had so much on my plate, like so many like fires to put off, like do these, publish blog articles, tweet something, work on the community. I didn't have time to track every little thing I was doing. So we were just using common sense. Like, okay, this does make sense. This makes sense to do, so let's do it. This doesn't make sense, so let's not do it. And as we were growing and maturing, the growth rate, the annual, the year-over-year growth was enough for us. We were growing like at 60% year-over-year, and prior to that, we were growing even faster. So if we're growing faster, if we're going super fast, it means that we're doing things right. If we started to plateau, if there was no growth, we would probably start tracking things and trying to figure out why are we plateauing, why there's no growth, what are we doing wrong. But if everything is going up, it means that we're doing the right things. So other than that, this is the vision of our CEO and founder, Dmitry. The other day, I asked him if annual recurring revenue is our so-called North Star metric, something that we would like try to grow at all costs, optimize for, care the most about, etc. And he said that no, we are not going to sacrifice our reputation, our integrity. We are not going to do things that are off-brand just to grow our annual recurring revenue. So for that reason, for example, we don't have pop-ups on our blog. So we have massive traffic. Like I said, we have 500,000 people coming to our blog from Google alone each month. But if you ask about the growth of our email list, it is tiny. It is like very tiny. We could ramp up our email list growth substantially by introducing pop-ups or doing some lead magnets where people have to fill out their information. And then we could hire sales team to like call those leads and convert them. But we are not doing that. This would accelerate growth of Ahrefs, but this is not how Dmitry sees the company. So we don't care about doing certain things because we don't care about growing our revenue at all costs. And because we're bootstrapped, we don't have investors who would pressure Dmitry into you have to grow your company, you have to grow the company. So Dmitry is like guiding his company the way he wants it and the way how is comfortable for him.
Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting, because I think like for everyone who's been on blog articles, like whenever you're like scrolling and like you start reading something and it's okay, you're scrolling fast because you want to get to that information and people are just optimizing for SEO, and then you get a pop-up. It feels like really annoying. And that's true that I think like the user experience on your blog is definitely like very like seamless and really smooth. So that's definitely cool. Because you mentioned a lot content, I'm also curious about like your distribution. So you mentioned like a bit of Facebook ads, your email list, etc. But do you have any other channels that you use and where you've seen that you had like quite a nice boost and a nice traction on it?
So yeah, like I previously said, the distribution would be different depending on where you are, like how big you are, how much reputation you have in the industry, how much of existing audience you have.
Okay.
Back in the days, our distribution was quite manual. So like I said, I was personally reaching out to many top influencers in our field, top people in our field, people who have audience. I was showing them our content and I was looking for their feedback. I was looking to understand if our content is worthy of their attention and worthy of them sharing our content with their audience or not. So yeah, it was super manual. I was networking with people, I was reaching out, I was showing them our content. Today, like I said, we only use ads. We don't do any manual outreach, and we don't even submit our content to websites like Reddit, Growth Hackers, Indie Hackers, etc. Because we figured out if we publish something really interesting, someone from our audience would submit that content for us.
Okay.
So we don't have to do this anymore. And again, the kind of traffic we're getting from submitting our posts to Growth Hackers versus the kind of traffic we get from throwing $200 into Facebook ads, it doesn't compare. So you can get super cheap traffic from Facebook, and you don't need to care about submitting your post to other websites.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. And when you're targeting on Facebook, because usually like what people would do with such amount of traffic, it's basically like build a lookalike audience. So from the people that are on your website, but since you don't put any like Facebook pixel, like do you have like defined audience? Like how do you define your audience? What do you usually put? Which region? Do you focus on specific region, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we mostly focus on countries that bring us the most customers. Those are predominantly English-speaking countries like US, Canada, Australia, UK, and all that. So we specifically create a segment with those countries, and then we just use interest targeting. We choose like SEO, digital marketing. We also put some of our competitors there, and our rule of thumb is to get clicks at below 30 cents per click from the countries like US, Canada, etc. So if we're getting cheap clicks, if we see that the CTR of our ad is high, if the topic of our article resonates with people, and if we know that this article nicely features Ahrefs, so after reading it is basically a landing page, a sales page for our product. Every article we publish on our blog is basically a sales page on our product. This is why we don't mind putting money into promoting it. So it's not just top of the funnel content where you would talk about something without even mentioning your product or what you do. We specifically like pitch our software within our articles. So yeah, we don't mind spending more and more money if we see that we can get cheap traffic, even though we don't track conversions. Because if someone is interested in the article that we have published, and we can get them to read that article for like 30 cents, even if they don't convert, there is still like a small plus for our brand, because this person learned about us, and even they didn't convert today, they have this little thing in their brain that they've learned something useful from Ahrefs. So they might convert 3 years later. That is still good for us. So we're playing the long-term game. Not interested to like convert them right there, right now.
But as a marketer, like I know like Dimitri like has a really clear vision on, you know, like what to do, what not to do, etc. And you mentioned also like if you visit our website, we're not going to retarget you on Facebook. We don't do that as well, but I'm curious, you know, because it's something that, as you said, you know, it could really like boost your growth, fuel everything. And I feel like sometimes, you know, like people are missing on opportunities, you know, like by not doing this type of things. As a marketer, like, do you feel frustrated sometimes, like not being able to, for example, just do retargeting on, because you could say, okay, if that person has spent, let's say like more than 30 minutes on the website. I want like to push the best content, etc., to that person because he or she is definitely interested in our content, and I know we can convert them down the line, but we can accelerate things. Or for you, it's just like it's cool like this. And
so first of all, I actually like that Dmitry has those restrictions, because
okay.
the less tools I have in my marketing toolkit,
Yeah, okay.
the easier it is for me to do marketing. Because if
Yeah.
I'm allowed to do everything, what do I even focus on? So you have
Okay.
to choose, you have to prioritize.
Yeah.
If there's just a few things that you are allowed to do, it makes things easier for you. As for retargeting, this is a great question. And most of the time, when I talk to people about how they use retargeting, in a sense where it brings like certain results for them,
Yeah.
like what do you retarget people? Okay, someone visited your pricing page.
Yeah.
What do you target them with? Do you target go sign up for a trial?
Yeah, exactly.
They just visited your website and they didn't sign up. Why do you expect them to sign up for your trial? So most of the time, retargeting is about deals.
Yeah.
You offer them a discount, you offer them a bonus, you offer them something extra. At Ahrefs, we don't do deals. We don't. Again, this is something that Dmitry has restricted, and again, I couldn't be more happier about it.
Yeah.
I think it works again towards our brand, that we're not the brand that would discount themselves. We know like how much we are worth. Like this is a completely separate topic. So the thing is, most of the time retargeting works because people get paid traffic to their landing page. Paid traffic is expensive. They don't want, they want to get the most of it. So they're willing to retarget the paid traffic that they got, because they know they're not going to get this person on their website again. They just paid, I don't know, $3, $5 to get them to their website. And if they can pay like 20 more cents to retarget them with some offer, they do this. This is when it works. For us at Ahrefs, we get 500,000 people on our blog every single month.
Yeah.
Why would we want to retarget them if next month we're going to get another 500,000? And that is just blog. Our YouTube channel, I think on our YouTube channel, we get somewhere around 400,000 views per month.
Wow, that's huge.
So hundreds of thousands of people are exposed to Ahrefs content every single month.
Yeah.
Why would we care about like some fancy retargeting where we can put those time into creating more videos, more articles, better product? We don't have a shortage of people coming to our website and exploring Ahrefs. So that is how we see it.
And on YouTube, your content, do you push it a lot with ads, or is it like mainly with your community to get such amount of view?
We do a little bit of ads, but for the most part, it's the community, and it's the fact that we started working on our channel basically from the day I joined. So as I joined Ahrefs, I started recording like clumsy videos. They were ugly, they were terrible, but that was something. I started doing them, and then Sam, who is right now in charge of our YouTube channel, he took over, and our channel has crossed 100,000 subscribers naturally. And this is not some kind of entertainment channel. This is not unboxing or anything, or like travel blogging. This is SEO, which is a pretty niche and one could say boring topic. And we crossed 100,000 subscribers naturally without buying any subscribers on Fiverr. So this tells that we're just care a lot about creating content. And if you just take a look at our videos, the level of production, the animations we have there, the effort that we put into to make them entertaining, to make them interesting to watch. So it's not that we're arrogant people who just we're sharing like great SEO tips with you. So we don't care about like production quality. We don't care about sound quality. You have to be thankful that we're sharing our wisdom with you. We're not like that. We understand that people online, they have very short attention spans. So we put a lot of effort into like wrapping up the information, the knowledge that we want to share with people into a nice package, so they would actually consume the video till the end. So yeah, this is how our channel is growing.
That's really interesting. I have a question, maybe more on the product side. So let's say like one user starts signing up to Ahrefs. So how exactly on the marketing side would the onboarding look like from, like first time he signed up to converting? Because I know, like, first of all, you do like 7-day trial for $7, I think. So I think this is great because it removes you all the like curious people who just want to check the product without spending $1. But how exactly does that work to go to the conversion?
Amazing question. I think I should come up with a new marketing term. So onboarding is something, the education that happens after you sign up for a product. So a person signed up and you want to educate them how to use it. In our case, this is before boarding. We educate our customers before they sign up.
Okay.
So they sign up for our product not because they've heard that there's this tool Ahrefs. I have no idea what it does, but I will sign up and figure it out.
Okay.
They sign up because they saw our videos, they read our blog, and we told them how to do link building with Ahrefs, how to build links using Ahrefs.
Yeah.
And in their head, while reading the article, looking at the screenshots and reading our explanations, in their head, they have already used Ahrefs. We have already onboarded them. Yeah. So by the time they click on the trial, enter their credit card information and pay us $7, they know what they're paying for. They know that for those $7, they're going to use this feature, export the data, and then use the data to achieve something. So we don't need any onboarding because our onboarding happens before you sign up to Ahrefs.
Nice. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think like you're doing like an amazing job by adding a lot of value and also like illustrating how you can leverage your products to bring a solution to a problem that people are facing. And that's
and I think I lied to you again.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we don't have like onboarding in a sense that when you sign up, we're going to send you a sequence of emails, because whenever we were discussing onboarding, I always had this question like, why would you want to drip feed someone like a tip after tip? Why do you think that a person wants to learn like one tip a day?
Yeah.
Why don't you think about, what about all those people who like today they signed up and they allocated like 3 hours of their time today to learn about the tool, but you're giving them one tip a day. How are they supposed to learn your tool?
Yeah.
So this is why we don't have any like email nurturing sequence, and we don't irritate, like a lot of people say, a lot of people cancel Ahrefs because they don't need it, but then after a few months they move on to the next project or like change companies and sign up again. And we don't want to irritate them every time, like, here, go through our like onboarding tutorial, like skip. We don't want
I see.
But we understand that a lot of people sign up to Ahrefs and they don't have enough knowledge to use all of our tools and data that we have. So actually in every tool in Ahrefs and almost in every report, there's a little how to use link. So when you open the report and you don't know like what is referring domains, how do I get value from like knowing referring domains? There's how to use link right next to the report name. You click it and you get like an article with use cases, not explaining like what we have there, but actual use cases of how to use the data to achieve something. So we have kind of product tutorials integrated in the actual product.
Yeah, that's really nice. And all those product tutorials, was it like you on charge of it, like the marketing team, or was it like more product or
Yeah, it was the marketing team. Yeah.
And you mentioned like people like churning. I know, like, I mean, in SaaS, you know, it's always like a metric that we look at, etc. So have you like tried a few things in order to reduce churn, or maybe increase activation also, like, because those two can be links, like few experiments that you ran and that worked?
So right now, I don't even know what our churn is, much like with all other common SaaS metrics. But indeed, in the early days when I joined Ahrefs, and I was reading all those tutorials on how to do marketing for a SaaS company, and churn is so important. You have to make sure that you're not churning a lot of customers, leaky bucket thing and all that stuff. So I did try to understand why people are churning. And what I did is that for every customer that canceled their account, I set up an email responder asking them, why did you cancel? So the response rate was, I don't know, 2%.
Okay.
Like 2% of people cared to reply to my email.
Yeah.
I think it was I think 4 years ago. So I don't remember the details, but I think I started to incentivize them with like if you come back to me with why you canceled, I will give you 3 months of Ahrefs for free.
Okay.
The response rate to that was like 1% more, because like
okay.
person canceled on your service,
Yeah.
they didn't find it useful. Why would they need like 3 more months?
3 months for free. Yeah. Okay. It means that they didn't perceive the value first.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. And those that did return to me with their reason for canceling, it was like 99% you're too expensive.
Okay.
And as someone smart in the SaaS industry said, if people say that your product is expensive, they simply don't get enough value to justify it. So it's not that your product expensive, it's that they are not getting the value they were expecting.
Yeah.
So the takeaway from me trying to figure out why people were churning is that they didn't get the value from the product, which is obvious. People are churning because they didn't get the value. How to make the people get the value? You have to, first of all, there should be a match between a person who is signing up for your product and they have certain expectations and what your product does. Because if someone has unrealistic expectations that I'm going to click a button and the tool will make me a millionaire, there's no way to match those expectations. And then the second thing is education. So if person understands the product, if they log in and they know where to go and what to do with it, or they log in hoping that they will figure it out. And yeah, for that reason, we were investing so much effort into our content marketing and education, so that people coming to Ahrefs, they would know how to navigate it, what our tools are doing. And that's pretty much what we do with churn. We try to educate people how to use Ahrefs.
Nice. That's really cool. We have actually a question from the audience about that. So a person is asking like if you've seen basically like the in-product notifications and how-tos really help with retention and churn. Like, do you have some data to back this up, or was it more like a field that, you know, having how-tos and in-app notification were actually like a booster in retention?
So we tried to mimic what Facebook is doing, because every time you log into Facebook, there's this bell icon that shows like a certain number of notifications. And because they want to treat our brain with a little bit of dopamine every time we log into Ahrefs, some of these notifications don't even make sense, because a person you haven't heard about posted something in the group you forgot a long time, but Facebook needed to give you that extra boost of novelty. So yeah, we try to kind of copy it in a sense that whenever we publish a new article on our blog and whenever we publish a new video, we wanted to display that in our product interface, so that tens of thousands of people who are browsing Ahrefs at this time would get like a little notification on their bell icon. They would click, see that we published an article about this, and if they're interested, they would click it. I don't remember the CTR, probably. So I have another YouTube channel. It's called SaaS Marketing Blog, where I'm sharing the learnings that we have in marketing and the experiments we're doing. I think in one of the episodes, I might actually have shared how that in-app notification performed for us. But overall, I can tell you that the CTR was way lower than 10%. So with that thing that we show to all customers of Ahrefs, we're barely getting 10% of our customers pay attention to it. So it's very hard to distract people from their goals. So if someone is coming to our product to do something specific, achieve something, to work, this is work. People work on their marketing. And we try to distract them. Hey, look at this. This is what Seth Godin calls interruption marketing. So they wanted one thing, and we're trying to push them towards another thing. This is generally bad. So, and this is why it doesn't work really well, but still we thought that it could be a nice UI thing that if you have some spare time and you know that you have 5 unread notifications, so there are 5 articles that Ahrefs has published from the last time you looked at it, and you can click, choose the one that is interesting to you. But yeah, overall, it is very hard to make people do what you want and not do what they want. For that reason, we're super lucky that we are in the industry with a huge search demand. People are searching for SEO related problems. They want to figure out how to do SEO, and we can use permission marketing. We can be there when they need us. We can help us with their content. We can answer their questions when they ask those questions to Google. But if your product is something that is solving the problem that people don't realize that they have, you would have a hard time, because you'll have to use interruption marketing, you'll have to use ads to attract someone's attention and to make them sign up for your product. So in that sense, we're super lucky that a lot of people around the world are searching for SEO related issues, and we can be there to solve their issues for them.
And how do you make sure, like, because obviously like SEO is super competitive space, you have like tons of competitors. How do you make sure like to rank on the, like, what have you seen work the best? Was it like just the quality of the content, the fact that it's been linked a lot? Because I mean, a lot of people, especially like in SEO and also in other businesses, are doing like kind of black hat SEO and all these type of things. Is that the type of things you've tested already, or is it something that, again, it's totally off topic? Have you seen like, I know there is no like silver bullet, but if you've seen like things that work really well in SEO for you guys, what would be those things?
So black hat SEO is really good for a throwaway business. So if you're doing affiliate marketing, if you're creating a website with reviews of headphones, and you can create 5 of those websites in a week, and you don't care if 4 of them will go down, you can use black hat SEO. So this is where black hat SEO usually works.
Okay.
When we're talking about multi-million-dollar business like Ahrefs and like our competitors, no one would really risk such a big business with a little boost of SEO. So obviously we're not doing anything even slightly shady, because we just don't want the risk. And I think this is common for even people who are doing black hat SEO. As soon as they realize that they have an idea on their hands that could be a real business and that has potential to grow into something bigger, they won't use any black hat SEO on the thing. They would try to grow it naturally.
Okay.
In terms of what we figured out worked for us and how we were able to wrestle with the big guys in the SEO industry. So first of all, it takes time. So there is no way that you enter a competitive market and from day one you'll be able to dominate it. That just doesn't happen. So you gradually build your reputation, you gradually build links, you gradually build connections with people who are going to link to you. You gradually build your brand, because when people type a search query into Google and they see search results, they can also see which websites those search results are coming from. Is that Amazon? Is that New York Times or whatever? And they are more likely to click on the resources they know and trust. So this is how the brand contributes to your SEO performance. Because if you have a brand that people already know about, they are more likely to click on you. And if people are clicking on your search result, Google will rank you higher. And one other thing is, creating great content and updating your content. Because the thing is, quite often when you're trying to cover a certain topic and you're trying to create the kind of resource that would be the best in the industry for a certain topic, you might not nail it from your first attempt. So you might publish an article, you might start reaching out to people, showing them, look, I published an article about, I don't know, photography. Check it out, like new photography tips that haven't heard before. And everyone would say, meh, like I knew these things like 5 years ago, nothing new, so try harder than that. So what you have to do is you have to upgrade your content. You have to find new ways, new angles, do some experiments that would impress people. And you need to rewrite your content. You need to update it again and again until you come up with something that would impress everyone in the industry, and that would be the naturally best resource. So in content marketing and in ranking in Google, if we're talking about a legit business, not a throwaway business, I wouldn't be looking for any hacks. I would genuinely ask myself questions. How do I write the kind of article that anyone in my industry would want to send their friend to? So if their friend is asking them, how do I learn photography? How do I make the kind of guide to photography that any professional photographer would be willing to send their friends to, knowing that this is the best guide they have ever seen, even though they themselves are not interested in beginner tips. But just by looking at it, they see this is like the best resource. So this is the question you need to ask yourself.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very consistent towards your entire brand, which is like really providing tons of value, trying to write always the best content and update it as time goes. So what's the type of volume do you publish each month? And how many people in your team are actually dedicated to writing content?
So we don't publish super often. Last year we were publishing one article per week.
Okay.
This year I think we managed to publish 2 articles per week.
Okay.
Last year we had 2 people working on our blog content, with me being on and off, because I still try to contribute whenever I think that I can write something meaningful.
Okay.
And I feel that I'm the best person and I'm in the best position to cover a certain topic. And as of today, we have 3 full-time people who contribute to our blog. I am on and off, and we also have one other person who is also on and off between the product and contributing to our blog.
Okay.
So I'd say it's 3 people and 2 halves.
Okay, that's
and
that's
other
nice.
than that, we have a dedicated designer in our team.
Okay.
Who is working on all the illustrations and making sure that the visual part of our articles is also
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I've read something regarding like customer support as big word of mouth generator, and that you make sure that your marketing team is spending also time there. Can you give us like a bit more insights, into like how things work with your support and how marketing and support work together, like within Ahrefs?
So yeah, support team is not about the word of mouth. I would actually say that support team is more about onboarding and retention, actually, because when you sign up for a certain piece of software and you cannot figure something out, or something doesn't work as you expect it to work,
yeah,
and you have a chat button where you can click it and ask a person like what
questions,
is going on and get an answer, this is amazing. If you turn off the live chat feature and people are unable to ask their questions, your retention, your customer lifetime value will go down significantly. I can assure you of that. So, but support, it is a stepping stone to marketing, because what I realized that as I was growing the team and I was posting job offers and getting resumes of people and doing interviews of people with people, what I realized is that even if you have like 5 years experience as a digital marketer, and you smart, you hardworking and all that, and you join Ahrefs, I have no task that I could assign you, for a simple reason: you don't know the product. You have no idea what you're marketing. You can be the best like in pay-per-click ads, in analytics or whatever, but if you don't understand the product, if you don't understand the market, I cannot really assign you anything, because I cannot be sure that you are going to understand what you're doing, basically. And for that reason, we had a rule that before you can join the marketing team, you have to work 2 to 4 months in the support team. You have to talk to customers. You have to figure out the problems. You have to figure out how customers perceive us. You have to figure out which features a customer using. You have to figure out what customers are struggling with. What do they love us for? And you should actually get the overall feel of our community, of our brand, like what's going on. And only then, after that experience, you can join the marketing team. And I'm confident that if I ask you to write an article or create an ad for Ahrefs, you will have a good understanding of what you're doing and who is the target customer and how you're communicating with them.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. So your onboarding plan is basically like when they join, they have at least like 2 months in customer support, or
Yes.
okay. How big is the customer support team now?
We cover 24 hours.
Okay.
And I think we have 2 people in each 8-hour shift.
Yeah, nice. And how exactly does that work? Do they do demos, etc., or is it just like answering questions?
No. We do demos very rarely. So if at a certain day the load on support is not too big, and there's some high profile client who is interested in joining, one of our support representatives can tell them, like, if they're asking for a call, like, can we jump on a call and you'll show me?
Yeah.
A support representative can say, yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's jump on a quick call. But normally we don't do any demos. We don't do any support via phone. So we only do chat support.
Okay, so live chat, or is it email and
live chat and email? Yeah, live chat.
Okay,
and email.
okay. That's really interesting. I know like time flies, so I'm just gonna jump in and see like the final question from our users. So basically, okay, so how does the support structure look like to retain user, especially after someone acquires all the data? So I think like you mentioned, like so you have like 7 days where you can really try like fully, because I think that's something that's tricky also. So it's like for us, for example, when we use Ahrefs, what we like is the fact that we can monitor on a weekly basis, etc., like rankings, updates of positions. So for us, we're paying like, it's okay like to pay monthly. However, for some people, they're just gonna want like to audit one website, extract all the links from their competitors, and then use it for like backlink outreach, etc. So how exactly does that work to retain this type of users on the maybe support side? Or
so we don't have an objective to retain users, and for that reason we don't care about the trial to paid customer conversion rate.
Okay.
But what we care about is making sure that every person who paid $7 for our trial got more value than what they paid for.
Okay.
So if you want to pay $7, export a bunch of backlinks, do an audit of your website, fix the SEO issues as a result of that SEO audit, and then reach out to people and get backlinks, and then just cancel, and you're no longer our customers, we're happy about it if you're happy about it.
Okay.
Because if you're happy about it, if you paid $7 and got a ton of value, what are you going to do? You're going to go and tell your friends.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay.
Sign up for Ahrefs. You can pay them $7. You can audit your website. You can export backlinks. You can get backlinks. You will rank. You will get more traffic. Go and do this. That person will go do this. Also cancel and tell another person. But why those people don't stay is because they don't need us at this point.
Yeah.
Their business is not at a level where they would employ full-time marketer, and they would need to do like full-time audits. They would need to do link building continuously. They would need to do keyword research, and they would have content marketing team. But the thing is, we did impress them with what our platform can do. We did impress them, and well, they told their friends, and their friends were impressed. They got social credits for helping their friend. So between their friends, Ahrefs is now the tool of choice if you need to do something for SEO. So if one of them grows their company to the point where they need to hire full-time marketers, which tool are they going to choose?
Yeah,
that's the answer.
That's nice. As we're kind of running out of time, I'm just gonna ask you like the final question. So what are like the 2020 priorities for Ahrefs?
2020 priorities for Ahrefs. We have an interesting way to scale our content.
Okay.
So I'm not going to disclose it right now, but if it works the way I hope it will work, I will obviously like tell everyone about it, because we are very open about how we do marketing. But afterwards, after we do something, we don't want to someone to beat us with the strategy that we have come up with. So yeah, one for the marketing department, one of the areas is scaling our content.
Okay.
For the
that's
product,
a good teaser.
Yeah, sign up to SaaS marketing YouTube. For the product, we keep improving. So our strategy, we don't want to go broad, we want to go deep. So we keep improving our products, and actually in some parts we're actually simplifying our products. So instead of adding more features, adding more data, and basically overwhelming people, intimidating people, we're trying to make our tools more accessible. Because what we realized is that there are a lot of people on the planet who have websites and who have amazing content to share with the rest of the world, but they don't know even the basics of SEO. They don't know how to do keyword research, and they don't know how to reach out to someone and ask for a link.
Yeah.
So we want to reach those people who have amazing information but lack of basic SEO knowledge. And with our educational materials and with our product, we want to help them. So we don't want SEO to be the superpower of a few educated people who decided to become professional SEOs. We want SEO to be accessible to everyone, and for that reason, we actually want to simplify our product in some ways so that anyone would be able to understand it. So that's the general direction at which we are going.
Okay, super interesting. So I think time's up for us, but Tim, it was amazing talking to you. I know it's a bit late also in Singapore. So thanks a lot for joining us. Where can people follow you? Or what's the best way for people to get in touch with you and read your content?
So probably the best way to get in touch with me is Twitter. So find Tim Soulo on Twitter. I'm most active in terms of creating content. Like I am personally on the SaaS marketing vlog. So find SaaS marketing vlog on YouTube, and you'll get up-to-date videos about this stuff that is happening in our marketing. And if you want to learn about Ahrefs and SEO, find Ahrefs on YouTube or like Google for something SEO related, and you'll probably find our blog. So yeah, these are the ways to get in touch with us and
that's
find
awesome.
Our content.
Thanks a lot, Tim, and have a great day for everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.